The River of Being. Introduction. Who am I? Where am I, and why am I here? This book offers a map for the spiritual journey, particularly the far reaches that are not widely known. Maps give us distinction so we can talk about where we are. Maps also allow us to discuss the path ahead. Wherever you are not lost, and you are not alone. A parable for the spiritual journey. Imagine you are a salmon swimming in the ocean. You go wherever the currents and food sources take you. Your focus is on day-to-day survival. One day you notice a change. You feel a new desire, and you start going in a definite direction. You swim towards the river where you were spawned, the river that brought you out to the sea. As you swim up that river, you leave the salt water behind and begin to adjust to the fresh water. Soon you encounter rapids, where the current is strong. You are compelled to continue, and coasting is not an option. After a while, the ocean is a distant memory, and you have no desire to return there. On your journey, as you navigate the intermittent rapids, you learn skills and techniques. You gain strength, resilience, and competence. In each section of the river, you discover the energy you need to meet the challenges you encounter. Some of the fish around you do not make it. They get stuck, caught, or devoured. Some get exhausted and stop trying. Some seem content to stay where they are. Sooner or later, if you persist on your journey, you come to a large pool where you can rest. After catching your breath, you are ready to move on, so you dive confidently into the white water ahead. This time, instead of progressing, you are thrown back into the pool. You dive in again, and again you are thrown back. Water crashes down on you, and you get tumbled in the churning force. You are strong, fit, and knowledgeable about the river so far. You've acquired skills and understanding, and yet you continue to get knocked back into the pool. Finally, you realize you are not encountering another set of rapids. You are now at a waterfall, and the only way up is to learn how to fly. Yes, fly. You must propel yourself airborne to continue your progress. If you make your way to the top of the waterfall, but are disoriented and unstable, you get swept back down into the pool below. If you stay above the waterfall, you find a quiet place to rest where you regain your strength and adjust to the new environment. If you do not make it up the waterfall, you begin to notice that the pool is stagnant. You see salmon that did not journey onward, and you notice that they are rotting around you. You can forge on, or you can swim in circles in the pool. The human experience, life in the ocean. The ocean is common everyday life, where you are compelled by your senses and little else. Your conversations are about you and are centered on your personal self. You react to your environment without awareness of a broader, deeper, or higher perspective. Like everyone else in the ocean, you focus on things in the physical world and are concerned with appearances. You are conscious of your immediate life, but you are aware of little else. You think this physical existence is all there is. Life lacks purpose, meaning, or direction. You live according to the beliefs of your family, culture, and media. You follow those whose beliefs align with your own. You defend those beliefs, and you feel threatened when others do not share your views. At some point, you realize there must be more to life than satisfying your senses or meeting other people's expectations. You become restless with the absence of passion in your life. You begin asking, why is this happening to me? When you stop feeling like a victim and start taking responsibility, this is the beginning of awakening. You are gaining awareness. Progressing up the river, the mouth of the river. You leave the ocean when you experience an interruption in your life. This involves a noteworthy event or turning point, such as registering for a workshop, visiting a spiritual community, or outgrowing your social circle. It might involve facing a new challenge or opportunity, such as moving to a new location or experiencing an illness. Anything that jolts you out of your routine or compels you to seek meaning can help you progress on your spiritual journey. The transition point is that moment when you become aware of observations and insights that you previously did not notice. You realize you are conscious of your activities, including thinking, choosing, using language, and taking action. You question old beliefs, and you begin discarding those that no longer fit. You sense that purpose and meaning are emerging. You awaken to possibility. Once the change has happened, you will never be the same. Like the salmon, you are adapted to the fresh water now. You have left the salt water behind. As you progress up the river and overcome challenges, you will need to take time to rest and refresh periodically. Learning takes energy, so give yourself the opportunity to pause, appreciate, reflect, and adapt to new ways of being. When you get a sense that it is time to move on, it is best to continue. Avoiding the call by resisting or refusing to progress leads to more intense ways to get your attention. The gentle prod becomes a noticeable push, and then an even more forceful shove. We all experience pain in life. Instead of living in agony about your agony, or living in misery about your misery, grieve authentically, be comforted by wholesome practices, and know that freedom is ahead on your journey into deeper insights and higher revelations. The rapids. Encountering rapids corresponds to growth and learning opportunities. You face rapids when you experience an impactful event, learn from an effective source, engage in an expansive experience, or make a significant change in your life. Some rapids are more challenging than others. They can be fun, or they can nearly kill you. They can be a one-time activity or an ongoing pursuit. Some you move through quickly, while others seemingly never end. Your journey on the spiritual river is traditionally a multi-year process of self-help and personal growth. An experienced guide can help you navigate. Options abound for learning various tools, techniques, methodologies, and practices, so select whichever ones align with your interest and ways of being. All pathways of progression lead to the same space. Between the rapids are peaceful sections of the river, where you rest until you are compelled to continue. Once you traverse all the rapids, congratulations, you have completed the first section of the river. The pool. You come to a large pool, which offers a welcome place to rest. At this point, you are confident and courageous. You are experienced at navigating the river, and you have grown stronger. You have made tremendous progress. However, beware of ways of getting sidetracked or ensnared. Potential traps. Overconfidence. Just because you have progressed does not mean you have all the answers. Achieving enlightenment is a process, and there is always more to learn than we can imagine. Sharing your enthusiasm. It is normal to feel excited and alive with new energy when you realize that your old life was shallow and devoid of meaningful direction. You will want to share your insights and bring others along on your journey. If people refuse to listen, or if they refuse to be moved by your discoveries, let them be as they are. People are not problems to be fixed. Trying to drag them into bliss is an interference and a source of frustration. Judging other people's progress. There are some human beings who will not enter the river in this lifetime. They are content swimming in the ocean. It is ineffective to judge anyone else's journey. Respect others wherever they are and keep moving. All levels of learning are valuable and are appropriate for those who are there. Becoming narrow-minded. Teachers who are only aware of the entry phases of the spiritual journey may be heavy-handed, restrictive, and narrowly focused, which can make progress more difficult than it needs to be. Instead of constricting to fit their approach, seek an open environment where you are allowed to question, discuss, and experiment. Learn what works for your particular ways of being. When you are rested and ready, you continue your journey. You dive into the white water and get repelled. You dive in again and again are pushed back. After several attempts, you realize you are facing a challenge unlike any you have faced before. The base of the falls. There is one waterfall on the spiritual river, the waterfall of being. The route you take to get there is not important. Maybe you challenged yourself by studying martial arts, running a business, or working in sales. Maybe you studied with a guru, read books, or earned certifications. Maybe you had amazing mystical experiences, or perhaps you have no concept of God whatsoever. Your experiences are interesting, and it is engaging to compare notes with others. However, the water crashes down on all alike, no matter how you got there. All pathways that involve taking responsibility for the content of your life and producing results with integrity lead to the waterfall of being. It does not matter what you believe or what you do not believe. The only activity that is important is that you arrive. The journey is universal to the human experience and reflects principles that operate with neither preference nor prejudice. How to tell if you are at the base of the falls. 1. Have you hit a wall? Has it become more difficult or impossible for you to produce results using techniques that worked for you in the past? 2. Are you unsatisfied and lethargic? Are you losing interest in pursuits that used to bring you joy? Are you asking, is this all there is? 3. Have you outgrown the teachings you have studied? Are you eager to move on, but see no place to go? Are you ready for new adventures? 4. Can you distinguish the major lessons you have learned on your journey, and do you feel complete with those lessons? At the base of the falls, you have 2 options. 1. Make it up the waterfall of being. 2. Rot in the pool below. Returning to the ocean is not an option. Getting to the falls is a one-way trip. Stuck in the pool. Trying to traverse the waterfall with the same resources that helped you through the rapids keeps you stuck in the pool below. People who live at the base of the falls without progressing tend to be bitter, disillusioned, cynical, and unreceptive to further learning. They feel they have done it all and know it all. They feel justified in critiquing and criticizing others. The cynics may be well respected, or at least they used to be. They feel they have reached as far as they could go, and yet they feel unsatisfied. Often they are too proud to ask for help or guidance, or to admit that they do not know something. They do not want to be seen as vulnerable, weak, or needy, and they get annoyed when it is revealed that they lack answers. Life is about progressing in consciousness, so being stuck is contrary to being. Sometimes people attach themselves to teachers who do not have a map for the advanced spiritual journey. These teachers take students as far as they are able, then they leave the students swimming in circles at the base of the falls.